wow, what a 48-hour period in the world of sports, right? I mean, absolutely utter chaos and craziness. And I'll tell you this, the Urban Meyer story, the situation, which if you do this for a living, if you're on the radio today, you have to lead. You have to start with Urban Meyer, who is just a flat-out clown. I tweeted out around 7 o'clock-ish last night that players get suspended and cut for conduct detrimental to the team. Well, wait a second. If a head coach allegedly kicks a player, where does that fall? And I even mentioned this. The Jags can do such a huge favor for their fan base, the ownership, the franchise quarterback, and get rid of this guy. And that's exactly what they did. So while you were off counting sheep, dozing off, sleeping it off, the Jacksonville Jags decided enough is enough. We're getting rid of this guy. And it was the right move, because you cannot, I don't care the place of business, workplace, whatever the environment is, man, I don't need some narcissistic bully jackass. I don't need that kind of guy. I've dealt with those people in radio. I've dealt with those people in media, and they're bullies. And you know what you do to a bully? You get right up in his mug and watch how fast they back down. And if you're Shad Khan, the Jags owner, hey, that's great. You fixed a mistake. But now you can't afford to have another one. I mean, listen, 8 months later, less than a year after hiring this clown, too many losses. Think about this. Think about the strikes. I'm going to hire a guy, strength and conditioning coach, who turns out to be a racist bigot. I'm going to rub up against a girl at a bar. I'm not going to take a team flight home. Like, that's fireable right there. That is a fireable offense. And then I allegedly kick a player. And oh, by the way, the team stinks and you're 2-11. I mean, the owner seems like a real nice guy, but he hasn't gotten any of his football hires right. He retained the GM, Gene Smith, who hired Mike Mularkey. That lasted a year. He hired Caldwell, who hired Gus Bradley. Bradley won 14 games in 4 years before being fired. Hello. He brought in Coughlin as an executive. They picked Doug Marrone to coach in 2017. That was the one successful campaign. They made a deep run. And then they fired Coughlin in 2019 after the NFLPA warned players not to sign with the Jags because of the abundance of grievances filed by the old ball coach, by Coughlin. I mean, this is almost like, you have to get it right, man. You have to. Once in a while, eventually in life, you got to figure it out and get it right. He has yet to been able to do that. But this is another classic case, a classic example of why you shouldn't always go for this sexy hire. This is another example of, okay, fine. The pretty brunette walks through the door. It doesn't mean you got to marry her. There can be 2, 3 other girls walking behind her. You go into the car dealership, you don't have to drive the first car off the lot that you see. And this is the problem with the NFL. They want to grab these guys, the next sexy hot coach, right? The sexy pick, the young guy, or the retread, or the guy that's won in college. Let me break it to you. It doesn't always pan out. And it was a major, major, major mistake. A major mistake. And you're seeing how it's all laying out, are you not? It's an embarrassment. And the right thing was done. So we'll get into Meyer, the NFL, Costco in about 20 minutes. As far as what's going on with Washington and Philadelphia, Lake Lewis is going to join us from D.C. We'll get a little perspective on the walking unit that is the Washington football team. I also want to get a little Philly perspective. So every Thursday we have our good friend Jovan Alford. He chimes in. You know, Jovan did not back his play last week, and we are going to give it to him for that. So we'll have a little fun with Jovan in the 5 o'clock hour. Q's picks at 5:45 to build off a good weekend. How about last night in the NBA? You had, again, these crazy sequences in the NBA. First of all, the 76ers against a undermanned Heat team don't even cover, let alone win, lose 101-96. Horrible play calling late. But did you see the end of the Lakers game? And did you happen to catch the end of the Pelicans and the Thunder? Oh, my God. I'm going to try to get you some sound on that. But just a wild night in the NBA. Sixers trying to lick their wounds a little bit. That line's dropped. They are now a 1-point favorite on the road against the Nets tonight. So quick turnaround. And as far as the NFL, we'll kick it off tonight. That number has held steady. Chargers and the Chiefs, Thursday Night Football, sitting right at 3. You get the Sunday night double dip, the Raiders and the Browns. How about this? The Browns were favored by about 5.5, 6. Now you got an 8-point swing. The Raiders now are favored by a point. And the NFL is not going to postpone this game. The NFL is going to allow these games to go on with all these COVID cases. So be very wary, be very careful of how you bet these games, because it is a major issue right now in the NFL. And I say one more thing. There has been a new memo that just came out about 30 minutes ago. And the reason I bring it up is because at last glance you had 36 players placed on the reserve COVID-19 list. All 36 tested positive. Not a good look. And I think the NFL and the NFLPA have massive decisions to make. I mean, think about this. And Lake Lewis tweeted it out. We'll talk to him at 5. Think about this stretch run. The Washington football team, right? The Washington football team is most likely going to have to start without 7 players out due to COVID protocol. And it's pretty disappointing when you think about it. They got to figure it out. 3 hours ago, the NFL has now had over 100 players placed on a reserve COVID-19 list over the last 3+ days. They have to make changes. That's why they came out with this new memo, this new protocol, adjusted, if you will, right? Meal rooms, team travel, activities outside the club facility. You're getting college games postponed. You might get more European soccer postponed. Folks, it's still an outbreak going on, and it's flu season. Cover up, protect. I'm not going to wax poetic about it, but these games, we got to get them going. So a lot of stuff to dive into. Costco in a couple of minutes. Jovan Alford, Lake Lewis on D.C. We'll get to the Eagles and the Washington game, which that line sits at now 9.5. 9.5. So it's moved 2 to 3 points. 15 past 4 o'clock hour, just cranking up on a Thursday edition of BYP inside the friendly confines of the AM 1490 Sports Betting Radio Studios. Rich Quinones here. Tyler on the other side of the glass producing the show. You out there as well. 609-445-1490. Get social with me at Rich Q&Q at 1490 Sports Bet. Quick timeout.